what a day of action we had yesterday at Cheltenham, and you join us once again in the Active Wins Cheltenham preview. It's day 2 and we kick action off with the Ballymore. The big Irish gamble, Envoy Allen, does it win?
Definitely. Best horse in training at the minute. I had him at 12 to 1 in an ACCA at the start of the season, but Classical Dream was in that for the Champion Hurdle, has gone, so the 12 to 1 was looking good at one point. It's no longer now, but I'll probably get stuck into Envoy Allen again. Apparently all the Irish just, I think it was Paddy Brennan in a preview night the other night was saying when he goes back home, all they talk about is how good the Guinness is and how good Envoy Allen is. So if that's what the Irish are saying, they seem to know how to find winners at Cheltenham, and he just looks all class. So yeah, he's my banker of the meeting.
Very good, Tom.
Envoy Allen has thrown a real spanner into the works because I was hoping he'd get diverted away from this, because it's hard enough to get an anti-post horse to Cheltenham, and I actually had Longhouse Poet for Martin Brassel. It's about 25 to 1 a couple of weeks ago. I was really expecting at that point that Envoy Allen might take in one of the other races.
There was talk of it going to Supreme, wasn't there? But...
Exactly. So Longhouse Poet, he's one of those funny horses who he's been getting beaten by the right kind of horses, but he's one who really could improve actually for the experience at Cheltenham. 1 3/4 lengths by Elixir Dane, 7 lengths by Envoy Allen, 2 1/4 lengths by Latest Exhibition, who's obviously a strong fancy later in the week for Paul Nolan. Again, a keen racer, should settle better. Martin Brassel won the race last year with City Island. I was very sweet on him at 25s. I would have been very confident if Envoy Allen would have skipped this, but he might just be running for places behind the favourites here. But he's got a decent chance of making the frame, I think.
Very good. The RSA now looks a bit of a pick-em race. There's plenty of those with live chances in this. Who have you gone for, Luke? I
like Manella Indo. I thought she was brilliant last year. A good winner of the Albert Bartlett. Beaten by Lorena on her first start this season, but over a shorter trip than ideal. Won back at 3 miles last time, and I think Champ in this race is like an absolute lay of the meeting. Fell last time, I wouldn't be having Champ whatsoever. I like Allaho. I was back to him for the Marsh, what was the JLT, but been confirmed this morning in the RSA. So I'll stick with Manella Indo. Just think the further you go, the better it gets.
And first of all, I'm agreeing with Champ. There's Belay, obviously fallen last time, and on his, every time you read one of his form comments, it involves not fluent or hits. So I think that in a top class race like the RSA, he's going to struggle to get a clean man to jump in. So Champ, I'm more than happy to oppose. I'm looking at Copperhead for Colin Tizard. I think his victory in the Reynoldstown at Ascot by about 17 lengths, probably the best piece of form again this side of the Irish Sea. Massive improver on his hurdles form. He's £26 up compared to what he was as a hurdler, so he's clearly an exciting young chaser who's getting better with racing. The concern with Copperhead is that he's had 2 runs at Cheltenham previously and he's got beaten heavily twice. You can make excuses for both. One was his chasing debut and one was his bumper debut in a listed race. So it's just enough to stop you from being completely sold about his credentials. But I think that he is worth an interest. I don't think he's bomb-proof at all, but he'll carry my money.
Very good. Champion chase now. There's talk about Altior being less than match fit for it, but it looks like he's going there. Chacun Poursuivre for me. Any chance? Do you reckon he's got any chances?
Yeah, I like it. I just think maybe if the ground was a bit better than what it's probably going to be, I think Chacun might be the one. Obviously, he's won early this season, but it was last year on at Punchestown where he really showed his class. It's Deafy for me. I just think festival form. I think he could have already took off before Altior comes out of his flat spot. He might be already halfway up the hill by the time Altior reacts. I think a lot of this will depend on where they position Altior. If he's up there, then Deafy will have someone to take him on. If Altior's sat back, Deafy might go. But to me, it's not a betting race. It's one to sit and savour, really. You've got 3 brilliant horses who are going to go 100 mile an hour in a 2 mile chase. They can all jump fairly well. They've all got decent engines, so for me, just sit back and watch.
Tom, do you have anything to pick out?
Agree, race at the festival for me. I'm with Chacun, to be honest. Obviously, you've got... his defeat to Aplutar over Christmas was concerning. Aplutar like a 160 rated horse. However, it was seasonal reappearance for Chacun. and his defeat of Min was far more like it last time out. To say that he'll beat Defi, you're going to have to go back to last season's form. Obviously, he does hold a 4 1/4 length victory over Defi at Punchestown last year. I just kind of think I can't really split the top two. Altior, obviously, there's been, like I said, murmurings about his well-being. Given the standard of the two that are opposing him, I think that's enough for me to take Altior out of the equation. So based on price alone, just because Chapman is slightly bigger than Defi, I'd be on Chapman, but it's not one to wade into, I don't think. Like I say, it's what the festival is about. It's about seeing the the Champion Chase is always one of the best races of the week anyway, and this year's looks a fantastic renewal, so have a token bet if you like, but just sit back and save this one.